Fear of failure stops you from doing what you truly want to do. Now, what is fear of failure? It's obviously being afraid to fail, but it's also something deeper than that. Because when you truly look at what you're afraid of, if you were to fail, it's often the fact that you don't want to be ridiculed by your friends, family, peers, you don't want to look bad, or whatever it is. So fear of failure is something deeper than that. It's the fear of not getting approval, not being loved, or whatever it is. So I urge you to look deeper than just settling for the fear of failure. So look at what's going to happen if you fail. So how do you overcome the fear of failure? Well, the first step, at least for me, was to realize that the fear of failure was all in my head. And like anything in your head, it's make-believe, pretend, imagination. The fear of failure is something you picked up as you've grown up. It isn't something you came into this world with. And something else you need to remember is that the fear of failure is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you're afraid to fail, you'll naturally put in less effort into whatever you're doing, which means that you will be more likely to fail. So the first step is just letting the fear of failure be there. Let the thought be there, because the thought in and of itself doesn't hold any power unless you give it power. So any fear, any thought you have is fueled by your attention to it. And yes, it's not going to feel comfortable to move outside your comfort zone, especially if you're looking to follow your passion, do work you love, or any of that good stuff. So it all happens by taking one step at a time and knowing that the fear of failure is okay. It's allowed to be there, because everyone experiences the fear of failure. I experience it even though I'm doing what I love and have been doing what I love for several years. I still am afraid to fail, and I still have worries and fears and everything that make me want to hide under the bed covers and eat a lot of cookies. So the worst thing you can do is stand still. If you want to write a book, if you want to sing, if you want to start a website, start a blog, start sharing videos on YouTube like this, then the key is to get started. Fear of failure will be there, you'll be afraid of a lot of things, but as you take action and as you move forward, you'll realize that the assumptions you make in your head, also known as your fears, are not as real as you think they are. They are possible scenarios of what could happen, but they rarely come to pass. At least that's what I found. So if you want to handle or overcome the fear of failure, just focus on what you want to accomplish instead of what could go wrong. Our brain is designed to focus on problems and what could go wrong, and that's good if you know how to use it, but most people do not. So how do you use your brain? You focus on what you want to accomplish. If you want to write a book, focus on writing that book, and know that fears will pop up and they don't have to stop you, because you can take one step forward at a time. And that's what this is all about. Taking tiny steps, because great things are achieved one step at a time. So while the fear of failure can seem scary, know that it's common, you're not alone, and you can move forward anyway, because the more you move forward, the more progress you make, the more you'll realize that the fears you have in your head are not as scary as they seem to be.